What is the Council of State Neurosurgical Societies? The Council of State Neurosurgical Societies, or CSNS, is a representative, deliberative, and collaborative organization of delegate neurosurgeons interested in addressing socioeconomic issues related to neurosurgeons in the field of neurosurgery. The CSNS operates under the purview of the American Association of Neurological Surgeons, or AANS, and the Congress of Neurological Surgeons, or CNS. The mission of the CSNS is fourfold. First, to positively influence and affect the socioeconomic policy of organized neurosurgery for the benefit of neurosurgical patients and their profession. Second, to serve as a resource for socioeconomic knowledge and education for neurosurgeons, regulatory and healthcare officials, as well as legislative representatives. Third, to provide a conduit for new initiatives, concerns, and issues to be brought to the AANS and CNS for response and action. And fourth, to provide an environment for developing future leaders in healthcare policy and advocacy for neurosurgery. The beginning of the organization that would eventually become the CSNS began in 1963 when the CNS established the Socioeconomics Committee under the guidance and chairmanship of Dr. William Mosberg in response to the Blue Shield initiating relative value scales in various states. In 1972, the AANS joined the efforts of the CNS and formed the Joint Socioeconomics Committee, or JSEC. After the passage of the Professional Standards Review Organization Law in 1972, which established review organizations in each state to monitor medical care, the AANS and CNS recognized the need for individual state neurosurgical societies, and the National Advisory Group was established with the support of 37 different states. The group operated under the JSEC. These delegates were divided into Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, and Southwest quadrants. In 1976, the National Advisory Group's name was officially changed to the Council of State Neurosurgical Societies. However, at this point, the CSNS was still a committee of the JSEC. By 1982, an elected member of the CSNS from each quadrant was asked to sit on the AANS Board of Directors for 3-year terms. Eventually, it was recognized that the CSNS and the JSEC were operating in similar spheres, so the two organizations were consolidated, and the council was simply called the Council of State Neurosurgical Societies. The CSNS works closely with the Washington Committee and the Neurosurgery PAC. Since its inception, the CSNS has actively pursued expansion and the creation of opportunities for young neurosurgeons to participate in socioeconomic topics. In 1998, under the guidance of Dr. David Jimenez, the Young Neurosurgeons Committee, or YNC, brought forth Resolution 1, which created 12 year-long resident fellowships. 3 residents from each quadrant could be voted onto the CSNS as fully active voting members of the council. Each resident is appointed a CSNS mentor and given projects to complete. Additionally, in 2006, Dr. Deborah Benzel created the CSNS and CNS Medical Student Socioeconomic Fellowship to provide support for a medical student to spend 8 to 10 weeks conducting supervised research on a socioeconomic topic of importance in neurosurgery. The CSNS is a representative assembly made up of delegates from each state's neurosurgical society and appointees from the AANS and CNS. About 2/3 of the voting delegates are from the state neurosurgical societies, while the remaining 1/3 are from the national organizations. For people who are interested in participating but do not fit into one of those categories, you can apply to become a non-voting associate member who is able to attend meetings, participate in committees, and complete projects. There are a number of committees to get involved with, including Communication and Education, Medical Directors Representational Section, Medical Practices, Medical Legal, neurotrauma and emergency neurosurgery, patient safety, reimbursement, workforce, young neurosurgeons section, ad hoc committees, and the Washington Committee. The CSNS meets twice a year, once before the annual AANS meeting and once before the annual CNS meeting. Resolutions that are prepared in advance are discussed, amended, and voted on during this meeting. Accepted resolutions are sent to the AANS and CNS for consideration and potential implementation. The CSNS is a grassroots organization that relies on engagement from neurosurgeons of all levels and experience to bring to light the concerns of neurosurgeons in the trenches. The CSNS is the single most direct pathway for an issue affecting neurosurgical patients and neurosurgical practice to be brought forward to organize neurosurgery in order to enact action and change.